Hi, this is Hanna.
And this is Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas.
Where we're going to do a season 1 wrap-up. Because we made it. We did 25 episodes.
We've done 24. This is our 25th episode. We felt 25 a season felt like a good old number.
And it's the end of the year.
Hell yeah. So we figured
we've done it for almost half a year. Well, half a year's worth of content. We released 3 episodes immediately, so...
Yeah. So...
Doesn't count. We're close.
Yeah, so we've been doing this since the beginning of August. And we have put out a total of, including this one, 25. That includes 2 bonus episodes, which was very fun. Including Friday the 13th, which we released on Friday the 13th. And then we also did a bonus episode of a Broadway show, Sweeney Todd. So check those out if you haven't seen those posted.
Yeah, that Friday the 13th episode did bad. Go listen to it.
Yeah, I
trashed that movie.
I had a lot of... I feel like it was good, funny content.
I know, no one listened.
We trashed it, and no one cared to come along on that journey with us. But yeah, so we're just going to kind of sum up our experiences so far, our favorites, our least favorites, our scariest moments.
And then we're going to have some reoccurring guests pop in, some messages from friends, and overall a good time.
Yeah, so let's get into it. In the course of the season, we had covered, like we said, 24 episodes before now. One of them was a Broadway show, one of them was Mike Flanagan shows, and one of them was about Halloween-themed sitcom episodes, which means that we had 21 movies that we had covered so far. Of those movies, we hadn't seen Carrie, Event Horizon, Drag Me to Hell, or Annabelle. Both of us. I specifically also hadn't seen Friday the 13th or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Of those movies you hadn't watched yet, did you have a particular favorite?
Of the ones I hadn't seen? Well, it's not Annabelle. Annabelle sucks.
Yes.
Probably Carrie.
I was also going to say Carrie.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and I love it, but I don't know if you feel that way about that one.
I was going to say Carrie, or I know I kind of, during the Texas Chainsaw episode, wasn't super into it, but with like a lot of reflection time, I do understand why that is considered a really good movie.
Well, please tell us more. I want to hear you say nice things about that movie.
No, I just think the style, like how stylized it is, it's gross, it's gritty. And I think from like a film perspective, it's really cool.
With the retrospective episode on it, because I want to make you watch it again. I want to watch it again anyway. It's awesome.
Maybe in like 100 episodes. We'll get around to redos.
It's a good movie.
So discussing some statistics for our episodes. The overall movie with the most jumps and hides had a guest. And that was the Babadook. Because Preston...
who's our Resident Scardy-Cat.
Was our very, very much our most scared guest with a total of 10 hides. So like... half the movie. And our total scream count between me and Preston was 8. But beyond that, if you consider other films that we watched, what other 2 do you think are tied for, I guess, second most total screams and hides?
I'm going to guess Drag Me to Hell and The Conjuring.
You are incorrect on both posts.
Nice.
It is Insidious and Hereditary, tied with 11 total screams and hides.
That was just between you and I?
Yes, so we're going to make an assumption that 10 of those for each were me.
Okay, one of me. And
the movie with the most Matt-specific screams or hides was Drag Me to Hell.
Okay, well that's where I got confused.
What has the least amount of total screams or hides between us and or guests are Carrie, Ready or Not, Halloween, and The Cabin in the Woods at 0.
All right. No, that does make sense too. And I will say, so speaking of screams and hides and Preston, we have Preston here to select the next movie that he's going to be watching in season 2. We are here with Preston, the podcast Resident Scardy-Cat. For those of you that listen, you'll remember him from the Babadook episode. And I think, Preston, it's safe to say that you are the most scared of horror movies of anybody we've had.
Oh, yeah. I think that's absolutely true. I'm not sure why I'm still here.
So, what we thought would be fun is going into season 2, was to allow you to pick your fate
Yeah,
for these movies. So I have come up with 4 movies and have written very vague plot descriptions for them. I'm going to give you 4 of them, and then you're going to choose 1, 2, 3, or 4, and that is what you are committed to going into this next season.
Hold on. So there's 4 vague plot descriptions.
Yes.
1 through 4. I get to choose which one I like,
Yes.
or 1 through 4 is randomized.
You get to
pick of the plot descriptions,
Okay.
and whichever one you pick is the movie you're committed to.
Now, we also discussed having like a fun little out.
Well, there might be one in there.
Is there a fun little out?
Wait till you hear the plot descriptions.
Okay.
So, Hannah, you understand the rules.
I know.
All right, this is like the game show, all right?
I'm actually probably more nervous than Preston because I have one I really, really want you to pick.
We can always just do it anyway.
Yeah, we will.
So, Preston, come on down. This is how it begins. All right. First of all, we're going to have movie number 1. You listening? 2 siblings find themselves left home alone in what they soon find out to be is a magic house.
Okay.
Understood. That's number 1. All right, behind door number 2. Girls trip. 6 powerful women discover the meaning of found family when they embark on a caving journey, but they soon discover the cave is housing a family of its own.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's not happening.
I knew you would.
All right. 3. Ellison is a down-on-his-luck writer, but when he finds a box of old home movies, he is given new inspiration for his upcoming book.
Do you know what that is? You're shaking your head.
I don't know what that
All
one
right,
is.
good.
Okay.
And finally, number 4. In this rom-com, Tess and Keith are double-booked at an Airbnb due to a Claire. While at first feeling uneasy, they quickly grow a fondness for each other, but then unexpected circumstances extend their stay together.
All of these sound horrible. None of these sound like an out. So I know I'm not doing the 6
Caving.
girls and the caving trip. That sounds awful.
If you need any repeated, but you have 1 through 4, and that'll determine.
Right.
He's ruled out 2.
2 is gone.
2's gone. Yeah, so it's either the kids, which feels like a grim sort of story tale. 3, which is
The writer.
and then 4 is the rom-com.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm also going to rule out 3. The whole writer with story, like homemade movies, is going to freak me out.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm between 1 and 4. 2 kids in a...
2 siblings find themselves left home alone in what they soon find out to be is a magic house.
Yeah, I'm taking that one.
So, Preston, you have selected what is considered the scariest movie to come out in 2023, Skinamarink.
Okay. All right.
The movie
all right.
number 4.
Yeah, what
which
was
is
4?
The
What did I pass up?
Number 4 was Barbarian.
Barbarian.
Which
That's
is what
the
Hanna
Justin
wanted.
Long movie from 2022.
Interesting.
I'm so happy. This one I went to pick. 2 was The Descent, and 3 was Sinister. We did not give you an out.
All right, that feels... I was going to say, like, listening to all of your descriptions, it was like, all of these sound like a very rough time.
I knew
fine.
he was going to
So
pick
you've selected
Skinamarink,
Skinamarink, and I'm so excited.
Skinamarink.
Skinamarink came out this past year,
God damn
and
it.
it's considered an analog horror where there's like it's just scary imagery on scary imagery, which is perfect for you. So I
But
think
I will say, if it
I've heard
makes you
people not
feel
like it.
better, there's been people who are like, that was dumb, I wasn't scared. And then
Yeah.
there are the people who are like, I was fucking terrified.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
all right. Yeah, we'll see.
well, we appreciate you coming on.
Of
We look
course.
forward to having you back.
Of course.
You've chosen your own fate here, so whatever happens is really your fault.
Yeah, it's
Right.
your own fault.
Yeah.
All right, neither of us have seen it either.
Yeah.
so,
Really? It's gonna be the first time for
We'll see.
everyone?
I'm really
Might be a lot
excited.
of screaming.
All right,
we'll
cool.
see.
All right, that helps out.
Yeah, we'll all
Have
be
you guys seen
suffering.
the other 3 options?
I haven't seen The Descent. I've seen Sinister and Barbarian.
Okay.
I've seen Sinister and Barbarian, but I saw Sinister like 2014, and everyone always says it's really scary, and I wasn't fazed by it. So
Yeah.
now I think if I rewatch it now, I probably will be scared because I won't remember anything.
Yeah.
And Barbarian is my favorite movie of 2022. It's a thrilling journey. It's so good.
Well, that's not what he
But
picked.
here we are.
So
Here we are.
All
We'll see.
right.
We'll get through
Well,
this together
we appreciate
somehow.
it, Preston.
And we'll-
Somehow.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it. Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Thanks for playing the game.
Yeah, sure.
All
Anytime,
right,
guys.
back to you, Hannah and Matt. So, we're excited to have Preston back on next season to watch Skinamarink, which I am terrified of. And I'm very excited to watch it.
I'm not pre-scared that much. That's definitely not the one on the list I was most scared of getting. It's actually the one on the list that I was the least scared of getting.
Interesting. That's the one that
So
I
I
think
feel okay.
will scare me the most, which is I'm also excited
I
about
thought
it.
The Descent was going to buck me up because I just listened to the Nutty Putty Cave incident, or a podcast about that for the first time. And so I think like another caving incident would have freaked me the fuck out at this point in time. Yeah.
No, I think I'm looking for something to kind of shake me to my core, and I don't think I've gotten that with any of the movies we've watched. I'll say I don't really think I've found any of the movies we've watched, like, I found them a lot of fun and scary in moments, but nothing has really, like, messed me up, and I really hope that I can get that out of Skinamarink.
Hereditary has really fucked up my middle of the night sleep, so...
I think I've seen Hereditary like 5 times. Doesn't scare me anymore. Makes me uncomfortable.
Oh my god. Well, it clearly scared me. With 11. No, in the middle of the night, every time I walk by, like, that certain area of our wall, I see Toni Collette.
Sounds like a dream to me.
No, it's literally every time I come back from the bathroom.
No, I mean, like, a good thing to me.
No.
A dream is in, I wish Toni Collette was in my house.
Not like that. Not in that state of possession. Please.
I'll take Toni Collette however I can get her.
Oh, that sounds creepy.
That sounds way worse. All right, whatever. Continue.
Would you put Hereditary in your top 5 of the movies we covered this season?
I don't think so. No.
What the fuck? What are your top 5 then? That's insane.
In no particular order.
That's literally
in no particular
crazy.
order. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Midsommar, The Babadook. The Sixth Sense, and Rocky Horror Picture Show. Oh, and Silence of the Lambs I'd probably put above. So yeah, I don't think that's that absurd.
Okay, I'm kind of just like gonna ignore Rocky Horror for a minute because it's just like such a different thing. Oh, well, that also, by the way, got 0 hides or screams, but it's a musical, so...
Lots of screams of delight.
Yes, screams of delight. So, I would say my top 5 we covered, if we're, again, ignoring Rocky Horror, would be The Witch is probably my number 1. I love The Witch. I think I'd put both Hereditary and Midsommar on my list. I really like The Babadook. And, like, for nostalgia purposes... I'm gonna say Insidious, but I'm not actually, like, it's not actually the best movie.
Yeah, I don't know. If you put that in your top 5, I think it's reasonable for me to not put Hereditary in my top 5.
The Conjuring is objectively a better James Wan movie, as is Saw, probably.
Hell yeah.
So, but I, like, have this, like, emotional attachment to Insidious, so I'm still gonna put it in my top 5. I don't give a shit. Any that you wouldn't rewatch?
I'm never watching Annabelle ever again. That movie was dog shit. And honestly, this is going to sound bad. I really have no interest in ever watching The Shining again. Oh, we didn't watch that. We watched that for another podcast.
Yeah, and we still have to watch it for our podcast.
Oh my God. I really did not enjoy it, and I've seen it before. Maybe I'll feel better about it next time.
Such a crazy thing.
I know. Most people love that movie. I really had just not a fun time with it. But yeah, Annabelle is easily the worst movie we've covered. Friday the 13th, a strong second worst movie.
We ranked Friday the 13th worse, both of us, than Annabelle.
Yeah.
Because I felt like Annabelle was kind of interesting at least. It was bad, but like at least I was like, what will happen next? And Friday the 13th, I was like, they're all gonna die, and that's okay with me. That's it. Like, I wasn't entertained at all.
It's not even interesting how they die. Yeah, no, I don't know. Those are my bottom 2 for sure.
I feel okay with
And then The Fall of the House of Usher.
Fuck you. I would rewatch any of Mike Flanagan shows again. Mm-hmm. And I literally have rewatched Fall of the House of Usher again.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one again.
It's crazy how much you hate that one.
I really dislike it.
It's actually, like, ludicrous to me how much you hate it.
So bothered the shit out of me. I just felt like it was a waste. Waste of my time, a waste of Edgar Allan Poe's stories, a waste of those actors. Sorry.
Oh, seems like they all had a ton of fun, so I don't think it was a waste of their time.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that people have a ton of fun on that suck, though.
But you just said it was a waste of their time. I'm saying...
Oh, no, I more mean like a waste of their performances, is what I would say, because they all performed well on the show still.
I don't agree.
It's alright, you don't have to agree.
Most fans put that in their top 3.
Put Insidious in your top 5, so... Alright, maybe I'm not most fans. Most fans are idiots.
Including you.
Apparently. Yeah, sure, throw me in there.
Any movies that you gave a ranking to that you feel that you misstepped Sorry, I just burped.
No, but I think we need to watch some more bad movies because I feel like I was either giving something a 2 or nothing less than a 6.5. So I guess I need to watch some 4s and 5s or just adjust my ranking scale.
I think all my rankings were like all over the place and buck wild. I'm still kind of figuring out.
I'll readjust. I gave Annabelle a 2 and Annabelle should be like a 0.5 or a 0. I was being nice.
Jesus. I don't think it's that bad.
It's pretty awful.
It's not good, but I don't think it's a 0.5. Like, it's not a 0.5. I gave it a 3, and I feel pretty good about my 3. That's one of the ones I would not change.
All right. What about you? You want to change something?
I gave Malignant a 5, and it's not a 5. And we all know it's not a 5. We all know it's probably a 6.
Higher.
For me. It's not a 5.
Would I give it an 8?
I don't know. See, I think I gave all my rankings are stupid and incorrect, but I was like, I'm not going to go through and listen to the end of every episode to see what I gave them. I just know offhand that I gave Malignant a 5 because I've been thinking about it for weeks.
Felt guilty.
2+ months of like, shit, I messed that up. It's a good movie. I just kind of said it to be contrarian, if I'm being honest.
Well, I'll ask you this. I think that's at least one of my favorite episodes we did in this season 1. Mm-hmm. And I was going to ask, do you have a favorite episode from our first season?
I think my favorite episodes are, in terms of like how much fun we were having and how like goofy I feel like the episodes are. I really liked Malignant. I really liked The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I had a lot of fun with our podcasters special guests, but specifically Saw because the movie itself is kind of buck wild, and Twice the Terror was also buck wild, so it was like a good pairing. Well,
speaking of Twice the Terror, while we're there, we did work with a lot of different creators. Paranormal Pennsylvania, Twice the Terror,
and Is It Horror?
And we have some more coming in the future. So
we also worked with Bookstagrammer and Self-Control.
Yes, you're right. Olivia, thank you. So shout out to all of them. And while we're here, we actually have a nice recording from Twice the Terror, from which you'll remember was our Saw episode. So go check that one out. And we're going to roll that clip for you here.
Hello, everyone. We are Twice the Terror. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Kat.
And we were on the Saw episode with the Hannas, and we had a blast. We had so much fun. God, it was we're still so much so that it influenced Kat to watch more of the Saw movies.
It did actually. Matt and Hanna, how dare you? I made it all the way past Saw 4, and then I ran out of time. I couldn't keep watching them.
So we just wanted to say thank you again to the Hannas for having us on that episode. It was a blast, and we loved having them on our episode of Twice the Terror for Frank and Turkey, which if you haven't checked that out, definitely do. It's a lot of fun.
Apologies.
True, very true. But the Hannas have asked us today to come up with kind of our ultimate Saw trap, where we think the Saws, films are going next. And I have an idea. Kat, do you have a trap, or do you want me to jump into mine?
Here's what it is. I'm going to give you the person who has to get out of your trap, and you should give me the person who has to get out of my trap.
Okay.
So, your victim is a guy with an Ford 150, an F-150 with Ohio plates that double parked in the Giant Eagle parking lot.
I see. Okay. All right. Mine was going to be more based on Jigsaw's unfairness. So it's going to be any sort of food delivery person who gets your order wrong. They drop off the wrong thing. So I guess for anybody in a Ford F-150, my idea would be Jigsaw's like, You've lived your life blinded by your giant truck. Well, now you'll be blinded by giant truck nuts. And it's just a giant pair of truck nuts that are slowly kind of dropping into their eye sockets. And they basically have to press a button to destroy their giant F-150 and proceed to drive around an economical, smaller, gas-efficient car. Or the truck nuts will blind them forever.
All right, for anyone who hasn't watched our show or listened to our show, we do talk about truck nuts a lot. So
it has come up a lot lately. That is true.
If you need more truck nut content, you know where to go. As for my poor pizza delivery boy, he is going to be trapped in a room with a feral cat that has a key attached to a piece of plastic in its mouth. So while the cat is attacking him, he's trying to get the key out of that little plastic key out of the cat's mouth, but one of his hands is stuck in a Pringle can, so he only has the one hand.
I love it. It's like...
This may or may not be based off of real events that have happened to me. Of me trying to get a piece of garbage bag out of my cat's mouth while eating Pringles.
It must, it's perfect. It's perfect for Jigsaw. He's running low on ideas, so he's just like, maybe the same thing happened to him, and he's just like, Pringles can, cat. I've got the next. That's it. That's my next trap. And then just like bum 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 bum, zooming in on the cat's face.
Bum, bum, bum. Well, Ryan, how about I do the outro music and you can finish us off?
All right, sounds great.
Bum 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 bum.
Thanks again for listening, everybody. Hanna, thank you again so much. All right, bye.
Bye.
Well, it was now announced that Saw 11 is coming out sometime in the future. So next year. So I think it's possible that those two were in the writing room.
Yeah, I think Kat and Ryan, their ideas are going to be incorporated. But make sure that you give them a paycheck for that. No free content, no free ideas. TM. I will say, those were definitely, like, the funniest ones, but I do really like some of the stuff we had to say about even our earlier episodes, like Midsummer. I liked our, discussion about, like, trauma and Insidious. I thought we got into an interesting, like, not, like, debate, but with Casey over The Witch, because our ideas were very different and how we interpreted things were very different. So, I think there are a lot of episodes where, even if they weren't, like, funny, then they also brought, like, a lot of serious analysis that I thought we did a really good job with. Silence of the Lambs is another one of those. I feel like that conversation was really productive.
And the audience out there really liked that episode too, because we had a lot of listens on that one. So we thank you. Clearly you liked it. Although I will say, and for all you to get a peek behind the curtain, like, I have no idea what people want to listen to, because we've had ones where, like, these are going to be hits and then, like, not do that well, and then others that were like, oh, they're not going to do that well, and then they're some of our best episodes. So
if you can message us and guess what our least listened to episode is, I will reward you with letting you vote on one of our future episodes for this season.
They should just get to pick, not even vote.
Well, I don't trust people.
No, I don't care. That's fun. Again, we don't know what's going to do well or not.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. As I said, there's plenty. I'm getting lots of requests. It's just tough. It's only 52 weeks in the year.
Well, a reward is on the line. If you can guess our worst episode from season 1.
I'm down. Yeah, you get to pick a movie.
Yeah.
Give me something scary.
We have a viewer-submitted question as well.
Who is it submitted from? Just a viewer?
A viewer.
Oh, okay.
A listener. What movie or franchise that we have covered would you most want to find yourself in?
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Obviously.
Yeah, get me in that house.
Okay, pick a horror movie now.
Pick a horror movie? Like, we talking about to survive or to have a good time?
I don't care.
Definitely not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'll tell you that. I don't want to go to Texas.
I do want to go to Texas.
I don't want to live in Texas.
I've heard... I had a couple clients that lived in Texas, and they all had exclusively good things to say.
I have my answer.
Okay, what's your answer?
I want to live in the Ready or Not universe, because I like a universe where, like, horrible people make a deal with the devil, and when they don't follow it, they explode.
Yeah, I love that. I was actually also going to say Ready or Not, but that is because I just know I could never end up marrying into a family like that, so I would be unbothered and unfazed by the consequences.
And I have news for you.
You do have a family curse! We talked about that in the episode.
I just have a funny idea. Like, what if, like, Elon Musk just is a complete buffoon because a devil is telling him to, and he's gonna blow up if he doesn't? And it's like, yeah, make this car that's, like, gonna kill people if you crash at 35 miles per hour, like the Cybertruck, and pretend like it's a real thing that is, like, good for everybody. Or, hey, take over Twitter and just completely destroy it and remove all of your ads and tell Bob Iger to go fuck himself. And there's just this little, like, demon telling Elon Musk to just do all this really dumb shit. And then when he stops, he's going to blow up.
I think that's giving Elon Musk
too
much credit.
It really is giving too much credit. But, like, you cannot be as stupid as him and make that much money and maybe not have some... Like, I don't know. It feels like there has to be a demon telling him what to do.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know.
Dude. Shut down, what was it? They're like, shut down any public transit by building these weird fucking fire death trap tunnels under LA in Vegas where you still have to drive a car through them and they still take forever.
Imagine pushing that when you could just push public
No, he literally killed it. He killed, he went against public transportation to do that. Like,
I know.
And then they
that
just abandoned it.
That should say enough about how intelligent this
there has to be.
is.
I believe it. I choose to believe that Elon's got a devil that's going to blow him up. Dude, just take one for the team. Let the devil blow you up. It'd be so funny. Honestly, he wants to be funny more than anybody. If he just let the devil blow him up, like, that'd be the funniest thing he did. Like, that's all he wants is for people to laugh.
Elon, let your... devil
Mr. Magoo. What was the devil's name?
It was not Mr. Magoo. That is...
Let Mr. Magoo blow you up.
What the fuck?
It had a weird name.
That is not his name. No, it wasn't even a weird name. It was the name of, like, the toy.
The family? Oh, the toy.
Family.
Yeah. Look it up. If you can message us what it is, we won't let you pick an episode. Because you can just look it up.
That's just calling out that we have a bad memory.
All right.
What are you most looking forward to for season 2?
I want to cover more foreign horror films. Mm-hmm. And I want to commit ourselves to doing our movie rec Mondays or whatever we're going to call them, where we're going to pick a movie that we think a lot of people haven't seen, that we don't want to spoil. And we want to just do like a quick 15-minute review, say, go watch this movie because it's good. And it might not be as popular as a lot of the other ones we're covering currently that we really go like deep dives on.
Yeah. We're actually going to start doing that on the 1st and 3rd Mondays of the month. Definitely not the 1st in January because that is January 1st. But starting later in January, I think, is when we're going to get that rolling, if not by the beginning of February. So.
Yeah. And I just watched Prometheus today, which I thought was bad because my dumb idiot kid brain let YouTube critics tell me it was bad. So I think that's an episode I'd want to do on Please Watch This Movie Monday. Or whatever it is, Movie Rec Monday. So
it's Movie Rec Monday.
We'll rename it.
It's Movie Rec Monday. And I've been in a debate over what to call it. I'm definitely looking forward to that in season 2. I'm also looking forward to covering some of like my all-time faves, which we will. So you'll see it when we get around to it. I'm also looking forward to doing some more collabs. So we've already recorded one with the Horror Lab, which is going to be really fun, and we have a good couple on the docket as well. So we're excited to have more people coming on our podcast and going on the podcast of others.
And we're going to bring back some more friends, some of the fan favorites.
Definitely bringing back Resident Scardy-Cat, as you heard.
Yeah, we picked his out already, and I think we'll definitely have Matt come back. And speaking of Matt, he actually is here to pitch us a new movie.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Okay, Matt, thank you for joining us here. We understand that you are coming in with a pitch to a sequel to a movie that we've covered.
Yes, yeah. I want to start off by saying that it is an honor to be back. Couldn't be more excited off the heels of our incredible success from the first episode. Yes, I am back, and I am here to not only pitch you, but to also pitch Warner Brothers and Universal Studios the sequel to Malignant.
Very excited.
Yeah. If all the listeners at home could just close your eyes for a second and just, okay. I'm going to take you on a journey.
Okay.
The year is 2039. The asteroid Apophis is on course to collide with planet Earth. Scientists at a lab in Antarctica are scrambling, shuffling papers, and sending files to various departments all over the world. It's also Christmas. The UN assembles to put together a task force to stop it. manila folders with some familiar faces are passed around. Vin Diesel, Jason Statham, Gal Gadot. Grunts are exchanged when a general in uniform pipes up. To do a mission like this, you'd have to be non-human. The room goes quiet, the silence pierced by a scarred-up, now elderly woman scientist. There is one person who fits the bill. We tried to cut him out, but now I'm afraid we need to cut him in. Big letters on the screen, Malignant 2000. This story takes place moments after the end of Fast and Furious 10. But what has been 18 years since the first Malignant movie? Madison Mitchell, the main character from Malignant, now a high school guidance counselor, is seen helping kids with problems accepting who they are. She's pulled from work suddenly by Miss Nobody, played by Brie Larson, to a secret government facility. She's briefed in a room alone, the point of which reveals that Madison herself isn't particularly useful to them. But Gabe is. Inner conflict and years of training see her seamlessly turn from Madison into Gabe. She's mastered the power. It is then Gabe is taken to the rest of the crew. This is when we meet Vin Diesel and the rest of the surviving Fast and Furious crew. If you saw Fast X, you know what I mean. Their mission, simple. Intercept the asteroid headed for Earth, saving every last Corona. But there's a catch. Jason Momoa, being the agent of chaos, wants the asteroid to hit Earth for some reason.
Tracks.
And he has a new partner. Suddenly, we are thrown into a dope flashback sequence, which continues the opening scene from Malignant 1, where they cut out the cancer. And after that procedure is done, the bit that was cut out is sent to an incubation room for further testing.
Yes.
Well, Gabe takes over and kills nearly everyone in the facility right after they cut it out, but not before they get it to the incubation center. With everybody, just about everybody nearly dead, that piece of him sits at an incubator and it grows.
I love this.
Ha ha, my friends, says Jason Momoa. Meet my new friend and lover, Raphael.
Who's Raphael on the back of?
Now the gang, with Gabe, must don their new rocket-propelled muscle cars and race their way to the meteor about to hit Earth. Are they fast enough or savvy enough to beat Jason Momoa?
Or furious enough?
Is Gabe strong enough to face his more out-of-control evil brother? Are they able to get Vin Diesel out of his white linen pants and vacation button-up to get into an actual spacesuit? This movie will answer all those questions, while also delivering incredible action sequences, unbelievable SFX, and heart-wrenching scenes where the lives of our characters will be changed forever. Coming to theaters next Christmas, Malignant 2000.
Let's go.
Woo! Thank you.
Well,
I have a couple follow-up questions, actually, in regards to pitch.
Sure. I can't imagine what I may have left off the table there, but yeah.
Jason Momoa's lover. Is this it was grown into a whole new entity, or is it on the back of his head? Like his lover is on the back of his own head, or on the back of someone else's head?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't imagine it would have grown off the back of his head. They show a lot of from the back shots during Fast X, so I don't think it would be from that. It's probably just from some like average dude, like probably like a mailman from Milwaukee, and he's just got Raphael growing off of him.
Raphael. What inspired you to come up with the name Raphael?
Well, I can only imagine that Gabe is named after the Archangel Gabriel, so I just Googled another Archangel name. Shazam Shbaloney, we got Raphael.
And I guarantee that has been done in Hollywood exactly like that
I'm
as
sure.
well. I have zero questions. I'll buy it. I'm in.
Let's just hope that the eggheads in Hollywood are just as enthusiastic as you guys are.
We can get Juan to direct it.
Oh, I'm sure.
This sounds right up his alley.
I hope so. It's combining two things that he has had a hand in.
Yeah, he did direct some of the Fast movies.
I'm excited for the third one to have Aquaman in it. And Jason Momoa is playing two parts.
Playing Aquaman.
Yeah. He will also be playing
his Fast character.
Aquaman and the somehow still alive whatever his name is. I think it's Diego or something in the Fast and Furious universe.
Well,
yeah. This movie has everything. We've got genre clashing. We've got, the multiverse. We've got accepting people for who they are. Brie Larson's in it. She's already agreed to sign on, if that helps.
Raphael.
I'm in. Hannah, you in?
It's a strong yes from me, dog. A work of art.
I'm glad to hear it.
The third one needs to also incorporate a little bit of Voldemort content as well. I think the third one also needs to mix in some Harry Potter, as we've discussed.
I was going to say
Gabe is a wizard.
We can do a lot. The multiverse is expansive.
Yes.
And very in. It's very in right now.
It really is. We've nailed it. Really nailed down the market.
All right. I'm glad. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your pitch. Well, I, for one, am ready and will be seated for Malignant 2000. What about you?
I'm looking more forward to the next installment in the series.
Malignant 3 million?
Yeah, featuring characters from the ever so popular Harry Potter franchise.
Well, I hope we get invited to the premiere.
I
hope Matt remembers us when he
becomes big.
Yeah, becomes this new exec producer.
I'm sure he will. Friendship is forever. Just kidding. But yeah. He's been my friend since I was 14. I'm sure he'll stick around.
We'll see.
Don't let fame go to your head, buddy. Speaking as well of some of our collaborators, as we said, we did a collab with Paranormal in Pennsylvania. PIP is a podcast that discusses various hauntings in Pennsylvania.
And they were also so kind to give us a little shout out and answer some of our questions. So we had a clip of them. Let's roll it.
Hello, this is Sarah from Paranormal in Pennsylvania. I'd love to congratulate Horror Hour with the Hannas on such a successful first season. I genuinely love their podcast, and they have made me consider some scary movies in a way that I never have. Their insights are incredible, and I'm always laughing. Plus, I love all of the guests. The question that they gave me is what Pennsylvania case that I've covered on my podcast, which covers history and hauntings of various Pennsylvania locations, would make the best movie. And I think that the Smurl haunting, which is a haunting that Ed and Lorraine Warren worked on, would make a great movie. One, the cases of Ed and Lorraine Warren are already very prevalent in movies. I know that Horror Hour with the Hanna has covered a number of them, The Conjuring, Annabelle, etc. Probably more to come, I hope, next season. So I think for that reason, there would already be a following. Plus, it's a really interesting case. Other than that, I think Eastern State Penitentiary would make a really cool movie just because so much happened there. There's a lot of history that could be interesting, like Al Capone being there, and it is so haunted. There'd be a ton to draw from. So congratulations to Horror Hour with the Hannas. Thank you so much for working with us, both pod and personally. We love you guys, and we hope you have a very successful next season.
All right. Thanks to the PIP team for sending that in. We look forward to another collab or maybe just getting dinner again sometime.
Hell yeah. So, Matt, did you have any other follow-up thoughts on any of the episodes we covered? Any other analysis you feel like we neglected to discuss or cover that you feel like we can use this time for before we wrap things up?
I'm sure there's plenty of stuff we missed. I think we got into a lot of themes this year, and I think we tried to find some movies that were kind of rich with themes. I think we can definitely talk more about the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I keep bringing up, but I think I want to save that for a whole other episode.
That is fine.
What about you? You got anything?
I know there was stuff that we were we'll talk about this later, and we didn't drop that down, so oops. But I do know that Jason Seaman, the librarian, who was our guest on the Event Horizon episode, had some additional thoughts on that movie. He actually read a companion novel that was written after the movie that goes along with it, and had some additional thoughts to share. So
here's our discussion.
Let's go, Jason.
Okay, so we're now here with Jason Seaman, who you all remember from our Event Horizon episode. Jason is here because he had some follow-up he wanted to talk about on this episode. And if you haven't heard that one, pause this one right now, go back and listen and come back. So, Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in. We're at our Christmas party.
Yes, we are.
We're in another Jason's bedroom, recording on my iPhone.
So I know that you told me that you had read the part of the companion novel that came out after this movie. Is that what you kind of wanted to discuss?
Well, I wanted to talk about how, I mean, none of us, I was expecting to be blown away by the movie. None of us really were.
Nope.
I was trying to figure out why. And what I concluded was the concepts behind it were very good, but the execution was not as good as it could be. And so it was interesting thinking about the companion novel and how, like, a novel and a movie are two completely different forms of storytelling, and how the novel incorporates stuff that got cut out of the final cut of the movie, and also gives you the ability to show, like, characters' thoughts.
Yeah.
So I watched all of the deleted scenes that we know of that survive. There's a very good one that shows up it's a deleted opening scene where they just get the beacon. It's Sam Neill's character meeting with what the higher-ups are. And they're like, yeah, we just need you to, like, write a report about this so that the rescue crew knows what to do. And it's like, well, I'm not going to do that. I need to be there because he's like, and he says, it wasn't just a ship and a crew that we lost. It was a dream. And I think that is, like, a really good summary of, like, his character motivations. But it's interesting, especially with, because there are several things, like, I mean, the blood orgy being one of the most famous scenes. And one thing that I didn't like about that I only afterwards put my finger on was it's just kind of thrown in there. It serves a storytelling purpose, but it could have been done better. And one of the things that really bothered me was we should not have had multiple camera angles for that. There should not have been cuts. It should have been a static camera angle. And because that was one of the things I wanted to see in the novel, was how it would work describing that. I think it actually works better in the novel, but the scene where they first get in, they're in the bridge, and you see the lights flash across and you see the flesh on the walls, I think that's much better in the movie. Because that's something, it has to take you by surprise, and that only works in a visual medium. But the other thing was, a lot of character development was gone. It's character development that existed. It got cut out for time or for other reasons, but...
Like what?
Like, you know that when Jason Isaac's character gets...
We get, like, nothing from him.
But, you see, he already had a scar on his chest when he's getting cut open. And it goes back to his childhood. Apparently he had, like, traumatic surgery, and one of his worst fears was, like, getting dissected.
Oh, so that completely, like... The rest of the characters also had some sort of trauma, which leads to their hallucination, and so his demise is also related to some sort of trauma.
Yes, it is.
I feel like that works really well, but we didn't know that at all.
And Sam Neill, in the book, it says he's terrified of needles and he's terrified of medical operations. What does he do at the end? He cuts out his own eyes and sews the eye sockets shut.
Yeah. It's interesting because I actually feel like this movie could have been longer. Like, and it wouldn't have caused problems. Like, including this, I don't think would have hurt the pacing of the film. I actually do find the pacing kind of odd.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe I don't know if studio said no or they felt like the runtime was too long, but, like, some movies are not better at longer length. I think this one definitely would have benefited.
The interesting thing with the novel is that it is cut differently. So, in the movie, you have maybe, like, 1/3 preamble before they're on the ship, and then 2/3 on the ship. In the novel, it's about half and half.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. I wonder how that would have worked. I don't know if that works well in a movie form to have that cut half, but I do think there could have been more time there definitely was room to have more character development in there.
I will say, I don't think I need the Sam Neill intro scene with the execs that are like, where he's like, it's also a dream. I don't need that. I think we do get that enough from him that it's his baby. But I do think the giving further character background, like him being afraid of surgery and needles and Jason Isaacs, I think that would like have built the characters a lot better and would have built the true effects of the ship up. Like knowing how big of a change this was for Sam Neill specifically.
That's one of the things is that, like, makes more explicit like the extent of his disgrace after the disappearance of the Event Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's talking to the general, it's like, and the general has his aide, and then the guy's like, you don't understand, like this guy, he held Oppenheimer's chair at Princeton. Like he's a genius. They got completely sidelined because they assigned him the blame when the ship disappeared.
Interesting. Yeah,
but
we
it
don't
is
get that.
like when you see his thoughts, like he doesn't care about the crew at all, which you see implicitly throughout the movie, but you see it's like he wants to be on the ship. It's like, I need to be the first person to see what happened here. And it's like the crew exist to tell him what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he gets there and they're all dead, it's like, oh, it's going to be so much harder to figure this all out now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's this complete like lack of empathy for his character because he's single-minded. Like it says, like the one thing that I liked, the timeline much more explicit. He says 14 years developing the Event Horizon, 7 years between that, the disappearance, and the start of the movie, but also the death of his wife 2 years before the start of the movie.
Yeah, we really don't get into that, like, at all.
I think it adds a lot to, like, where he is psychologically. Like, how his life has completely fallen apart, and it wasn't a gradual thing. Like, he's absolutely consumed, and life is just kind of happening around him while he just stays obsessed with one character, which ultimately, I think, you see the other characters fighting the darkness, but what happens with Sam Neill is he, like, embraces it, he gives in, and he just goes, just deep dives right into the chaos that he saw at the other side of this singularity the ship went through.
Very interesting. So you recommend the book then?
I would. It's on the Internet Archive. It was, I mean, it's a like 90s published paperback companion novel. It shouldn't be expensive, but they're like $80 on eBay, which
Of
I
course.
won't pay.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, it's free on the Internet Archive. You just have to make an account, and you can borrow it just like a library book. You can borrow it an hour at a time and do that as many times as you want.
There you go. Go listen. And while we have you, I have to ask, since this is related to, we talked about Cosmic and Eldritch Horror during our episode. I don't know if you've seen that James Wan is going to be directing a Call of Cthulhu movie coming out in a couple of years. So we'll have you back on in however many years that
That'd
is
be very interesting.
to talk. I think, I don't know if you know much about James Wan, but he's kind of just insane enough to pull this off. And I think like the way that he was able to pull off Malignant, which is a movie we've talked about a lot, makes me think that as well. So I don't know if you know much about him or not, but
I'm just very interesting to see how you adapt a Lovecraft work and make it good.
I agree. I find that Juan is like he's got the chops and the insanity to do it, in my opinion.
You need like Guillermo del Toro might be able to pull that off, and you need somebody like that level of creativity.
I think Guillermo del Toro was actually, I don't know if he's doing Call of Cthulhu, but my understanding was he had a Lovecraft similar movie in the works.
He's really
adjacent.
Like, all of his
I
other
think
stuff.
he does have something in the works that's Lovecraft.
Well,
Like Pan's Labyrinth, that's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I made Matt watch that for the first time like a year ago.
it was multiple years ago, but
Okay, it was a pandemic, so
but yes.
decent enough.
Okay, well, we appreciate you coming back on. Thank you.
I'm glad that I could express opinions that I have.
No.
'Cause I have even more if you ever want them.
Of course. Well, we're going to have you on for another movie soon. So
Have you read any books recently that you recommend in the horror genre?
If you're looking for modern stuff, I reread some stories from The Secret of Ventriloquism by John Patchett.
You mentioned that on the last episode.
I did mention
little
it?
shit.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. I love, if you want older stuff, M.R. James, Montague Rhodes James, it's like the perfect, like, cozy, but kind of serious horror if you just want something to, like, read before bed on an October night.
All right.
all right.
Well, thank you,
I'll take
Mr. Librarian. We'll have you back on soon.
I hope so.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jason. Well, we appreciate Jason coming back on to talk to us, and we're hoping he'll come join us again in season 2. And from the Horror Hour with the Hanna's family, which is really just Hanna and I over here, we want to thank everybody for listening. We really had a lot of fun with this in our first season, and I think I'm ready to keep doing it. I'm ready to do some more of it. Hannah's been busting her ass on Instagram and TikTok, so go follow us there because you're working really hard, and
Thank
she's
you.
killing it.
We're also on Twitter, which Matt is working a little less hard at, but
Yeah.
it's very funny. It's Matt shitposting, essentially.
Once Elon blows up from not listening to his demon, I'll shitpost a little bit more.
Okay, that's
Once that app is not garbage anymore. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it with this, you. with you. Damn.
Yeah, it was a nice
think I've learned to
hobby.
speak?
Yeah, you still haven't. Neither
No.
have I, though, to be fair. Still lots of ums and likes,
Try my best.
but we're working on it.
Yeah, and we'd love to get more recommendations for movies. I get a bunch already. It's hard to follow up, but we're making a little doc. We're going to put things on a schedule, so looking forward to doing more next year. Some more scary stuff and some more new releases, too.
We're very excited to cover some new releases. Expect us to cover Night Swim, which is coming out in January. I know later in the year, A Quiet Place, I think it's the prequel, is coming out. We're also going to get Beetlejuice 2 in this coming year. So those are all things I'm sure we will be covering.
I'm sure there's always going to be something sneaky good, like there were plenty of in 2023 as well, that we'll find. So,
if you do have any off-the-wall recommendations, feel free to Venmo me $10, and I'll make sure we cover it. If you need my Venmo,
we're gonna start taking
DM me.
We're going to start taking subscriptions for people to pick what we're
not doing
cover.
a Patreon. Just Venmo me $10.
That could be.
And I promise I will.
If we don't want to ruin the views of like the Wednesday app, we could be like the pay to cover Thursday or pay to cover Friday, and then we just do it for that person. And then
Just that person?
not just that person. Yeah. It's more like we release it on a Friday so we don't kill our Wednesday views, our typical episode views.
Or just a bonus up.
Yeah.
I don't care. Venmo me $10. I'll do whatever
But
you tell
again,
me to do.
thank you for listening. We've definitely gotten some traction. We want to keep doing this. So show it to your parents. Show it to your friends.
Show it to your dog. I don't care.
Just play it. Download our episodes. You don't even have to listen. We just need to get those views. If you download, it counts.
Oh my God, Matt. Well, we're also doing this for fun.
I know.
So,
Oh, I know. But I want the world to hear us.
Well, you're telling them to just download it and not listen, so I don't
True.
think that's
I want the world to
letting the
download
world-
us.
That's it. We don't care about anything else. Well, I think that's all I have.
Yep. And thank you. I'm going to go through everybody. Thank you, Preston, Casey, Jason, Paranormal in Pennsylvania, Matt Dalton, Jackie, Twice the Terror, Jason Seaman, the Librarian, Olivia, No Shelf Control, Is It Horror? I already said Preston. Thank you to future guests. And then we had a bunch of people on our Rocky Horror episode.
Also just Miss Michaela. Thank you, Michaela.
Thank you, Michaela.
We also, in our Rocky Horror episode, had a feature from Justin.
And Mary.
So who have yet to make
David.
their full appearances
And
yet.
David's a farmer. He might be on for a corn-related episode. Sneak peek.
That's going to be
it's in the works.
funny when we just cover something to do with corn or farming, and we're like, here's our farmer friend.
Yep. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the listeners. We appreciate you. That's all I got. I'm out of here. We'll see you next in 25 more episodes for season 2 wrap up, and we'll see you in the new year. We're not taking any breaks. We don't rest over here at the Horror Hour podcast. Horror Hour with the Hannas. That was our original name.
Horror mess. Hour. This last 10 minutes.
No, this is it. Nobody's listening at this
hot
point.
Garbage.
This is like the live show element I wanted of this.
Garbage.
To just be garbage, and yeah.
All right.
Just dancing around here.
I've been Hanna.
You've been?
Yeah, I've been.
I've been Matt sometimes.
I don't know who I am now.
I'm Matt Hanna.
All right. You've listened to Horror Hour with the Hannas. Keep listening. We hope to see you soon.
See you next year.
Bye, bitches. Bye. Thank you for tuning into Horror Hour with the Hannas. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and follow for additional content on TikTok or Instagram at Horror Hour with the Hannas. If you like the podcast, please leave a positive review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!